stars, lap dancers, porn star. Can't believe you're telling me that that's the way that I should be. All this hardcore that I see kinda saturates my brain. Everything I try to be, they're telling me that I'm insane. Just show me a normal girl, I don't need the blow up though. That's a choice and we can make it, we don't need the cash to fake it.
I know the guys in my year always talk about models that they like. They'll talk and they say that, oh, she's hot or whatever.
The boys got their phone out and they started watching stuff. It was so awkward because they were sitting watching porn at the back of the class. You feel quite exposed, even though it's not you, they're doing anything to.
I felt really embarrassed because it's women and I'm a young woman, and it would make me feel like I should be like that, but I don't really want to.
You can't say anything because then you're just not able to have a laugh, and you can't take a joke. It's not funny.
Sure, loads of people think that porn's just a laugh, that it's harmless fun. You know, people forget that pornography is an industry, and an industry has to make profit. That's the nature of it. So it's not about an industry or people sitting back thinking, okay, how can we make a better sex life for someone in Glasgow, you know, for someone in Perth, for someone in Edinburgh. That's not what the industry does. It's co-opting our sexuality, repackaging it and selling it back to us as something that we have to buy, and it's causing harm directly to our young people who are some of the biggest consumers of these images.
My whole reason for being in the adult film industry is to satisfy the desire of men who basically don't care much for women. When I somewhat brutalize her sexually, I'm satisfying male viewers' desires to gain revenge against women.
Girls are just as smart and just as intelligent, so why should they be made to feel like they're no better than an object for a guy?
Like that porn video might be how guys think they should act with women.
It's when they kind of judge themselves and their lives on porn, and that's not right.
They're being told that women are supposed to be like theirs, like they own them.
My sexuality is all mine, see? I don't want no industry snuggle, not to me. Telling me how I should do it, telling me to prove it. Telling me they show me if I watch it in a hardcore movie.
There's a fun game with Google Images. Just type in any female name and see if you can get a page one without anything slightly pornographic.
There's so much sex and TV shows, adverts, and so much easy access to porn.
I do remember my first kind of experiences of porn. I think definitely influenced how I thought that I would grow up sexually. Oh, I see, that's how we're supposed to be. That's how I'm supposed to look.
And it doesn't give a true representation of what sex is about or what it's like.
But I think a lot of people might assume that that's how sex is going to be when they get there. It's subservient girls just there to do whatever you want.
I think the sex and porn industry take advantage of both men and women, the way they feel and like the urges that they get.
I think if I was a boy and I saw this girl screaming her head off from whatever the guy's doing to her, and then you come into the bedroom and you can't get anything like that out of a woman, then would you not feel a wee bit sort of self-conscious that you were doing it completely wrong? When you look at the back pages of lads mags, you can buy a person. It's almost like dialing in a pizza.
Shopping for women. That's what that sounds like. You do your Tesco shop.
The porn industry puts out the message to young women that their value is as sex objects. You are the commodity that someone else will pay to watch. And for men, all you are is a consumer, or the potential consumer. You quite literally walking penis with a wallet.
I'm a spent force. I'm sick and tired of this virtual sexual intercourse that are consumed by the profligate.
Young people are growing up in a diet of pornified images right from a really young age, from 4 or 5 onwards. And we put sexualised messages in front of them, around them, everywhere. There's no escape from it.
They've got a magazine that's telling girls like from the age of 6 up how they should look and makeup tips.
How to try and look sexy and stuff.
And they're 6 years old.
No, I'm a amazed by days and confused by all this bump and grind on the information highway. I'll pull my ride up.
The script that the porn industry is writing is not about increasing our enjoyment of sex. It's not about increasing our sexual repertoire. In fact, it's a very narrow script. And this is where the industry has absolutely exploited and manipulated young people's need to be grown up, to be desirable, to be exploring and experimenting. They flood the market with free porn because they know the biggest consuming group of free porn is the 12 to 17-year-olds. They want to build up the consumer base at that age. So the porn industry has put out the message that we all should somehow be pseudo-porn stars in waiting, porn stars in training. So you start to brand yourself as a young woman as to how porn ready you are. You take your sexy pictures. You advertise yourself online on your profiles as being a sex object because that's where you see your value is.
Guys could take that to their advantage, tell you you're beautiful and gorgeous and make you feel special, and then they'll take you away from everybody else you've got.
Predators will come in and see young women who they see as porn ready and are ready to exploit that. That's where the physical, sexual abuse will start.
They'll maybe have something against you and they'll say, well, if you don't do this for me, I will tell your parents about what you've been doing, and then they'll arrange to meet you. This is what happened to a girl called Lisa. She's 13. We felt really cool hanging out with older guys with flash cars. They gave us wine and cigarettes and cannabis. Before long, they were my only friends. We did whatever they asked. They said if I didn't have sex with them, they would rape my mum.
Every single force in Scotland has got at least one big case on the go, and we're talking about someone who's got 20, 30 upwards victims. We have teams running constantly investigating predators who are grooming young people. Young people will go into a chat room and they're looking to make friends. Sitting at the side of that chat room is your predator. I'm talking about the guys who are 17 and 18 who are wanting to meet your 13 and 14 and 12-year-old son or daughter. Would you let them come into your house and sit down beside your child and talk dirty to them and ask them to do sexual acts while you're watching Coronation Street? Because that's what they're doing.
This is what happened to a boy called Tim. He's 15. A friend asked me to go and meet a guy he'd met on the internet. Before I knew it, I was being introduced to a lot of men who wanted to have sex. If I tried to say no, I got physically hurt. I had to get a friend to help me cover my injuries so my parents wouldn't find out. I had such a low opinion of myself. I couldn't think of anything except not living.
They start off with the lads' mags when they're at school, which is really quite sexually graphic in their content, some of them. They then tend to lead them onto websites. A lot of this pornography isn't just about having sex, it's about extreme pornography. It's violent pornography, it's making women the victim of violence, and you're learning that that's the norm.
Young men are cast into a role of being the perpetrator and the aggressor and the consumer. All they're doing is absorbing the messages from the porn industry and reenacting them.
My teams have spoken to young girls whose lives have been destroyed because of this. Young girls who have been raped by men that they met online, who have travelled to Edinburgh, to Glasgow, to the big cities and been raped.
This is what Caroline said. She's 14. He seemed like the perfect gentleman, but he was just using me. Soon he was making money out of me by selling me to other men. I'd never even kissed a boy before. In just a few months, I'd slept with more than 60 men.
I know what I'm gonna do. Don't let them tell you how to be you. Gotta be strong and carve your own way. Porno and pimps forget what they
everybody should be having the best possible sex they can have. The most mind-blowing sex, exciting sex, fun sex, but without pornography being the third partner. Our young people and our lives and our sexuality is worth more to us than it is to the porn industry. This is not about spoiling a party. This is about name and harm. And this is about drawing a boundary around ourselves and our young people to say, you know what, porn industry, back off.